the rarest of the rare feat. You might have gone through and you can even go through the literature. First of its kind, first time in the country, probably the second or third in the world. And this facility is not new to these kind of feats. You all might have witnessed in the past. Many miracles have created, many miracles have done in this same facility by most of our clinicians. Today, indeed, it's always a different ball game, a different case, very unique, very challenging. Besides, you all know the prevailing precarious situation around. Touch wood, this facility never ever thought of relaxing. From that point of time till this minute, especially the quaternary care front, doing multi-organ transplants. Of course, liver obviously is more challenging because the whole country program was shut. Most of the places, most of the reputed centers, they shut the program due to prevailing conditions. Touchwood, this facility alone, I've done close to or more than 100 transplants, out of which almost like one-fourth of the quantum has come from the pediatric population. That really speaks volumes about the clinical strength, of course, the ecosystem developed around. It's not that easy to do these kind of 15-16 hour marathon surgeries amidst the kind of the precarious, unprecedented times around. So the global management, Gleneagles global management, always been proud of having this kind of clinical team around who never ever take a blink of time to do this kind of rarest of the rare feats. Today we are living example, 12 years old boy who was battling with a life-threatening disease. The option left was only a combined liver and kidney transplantation. And the family should be really brave enough. Of course, they never uttered a word against the clinical decision. They always been very proactive. They always been like very optimistic about the clinical outcomes. Probably they might have gone through the literature all along. Thank you very much, Master Varun and family. Of course, the entire clinical team occupied in the front row. Now, the most importantly, the media, and you all can go through next 15-20 minutes time. What is the uniqueness of this case? And my humble submission to the entire media, let's disseminate this, because these kind of feats I never heard. First time 12 years old by doing a combined liver kidney might have happened, but the cause of the disease and followed by the consequences led to a successful transplantation is more importantly. That news has to be gone all over the world. Then only the incidents may not be that huge, but whatever the little amount of incidences, we are here to gather the support, we are here to render the support so that lives can be preserved. So thank you all very much for entire team for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
GGHC and the media persons. Our institute is pioneering handling the challenging liver diseases and performing the complex liver surgeries. Our institute is one of the largest pediatric liver transplant center in the country. So today we all have gathered to highlight the unique case. There are two important features in this case. One is the rare disease. We have to identify the rare disease. If we miss the diagnosis, then we know the treatment will be going the wrong direction. Second, correcting the rare disease with the expert team. So here we have a boy. He had a rare liver disease combined with a kidney. He underwent successful liver and the kidney transplant. Part of the liver was donated by aunt and the kidney by his mother. It's a single surgery, and now he completely recovered from his illness and going to lead a normal life like other kids. I wish to invite a few of my colleagues to highlight what are the challenges in this particular child while handling the disease. Thank you. Welcome to all.
Interesting. I will go through, I will take you through the journey of Varun Sandesh, who had full belief in us and all the way from Bangalore, even though Bangalore has many hospitals, he had a lot of faith in us, which brought him here. So, as highlighted by MC and Dr. Joy Varghese, this is the first successful pediatric combined liver kidney transplant from Asia. It is rare. The disease itself is very rare, and doing a combined liver kidney transplant in a child is a huge undertaking for the clinical team and also for the family. So this is his journey. He is 12-year-old. He was diagnosed to have kidney stones, kidney failure a couple of years ago. He needed dialysis immediately because without dialysis his body would swell up and his quality of life was not good. He was not going to school. So the doctors in Bangalore diagnosed him to have a rare genetic disorder called primary hyperoxaluria. It's extremely rare. So they explored treatment options in Kerala and other parts of the country, and finally they decided to explore the treatment options in Chennai. They reached us. So when we first saw this child, we may be doctors, we will also have some, feelings for the family. Why this child has to go through all this? He has innumerable trips to hospitals. Every 2 to 3 days he has to make a trip to the hospital. The dialysis catheter would get blocked. It has to be replaced. It may be midnight. Father was telling me that he just had a two-wheeler. It was very difficult for him to travel with the child. So the pain, agony and the suffering the parents were going through, I can't put it in words, it's immense. So we just wanted to help them. In what way we can help? So we need to know what is the cause of these stones, what is the cause of this disease. Then only we can plan the treatment. So basic thing is, when we eat, the food has something called oxalate. The oxalate gets metabolized. Basically, oxalate gets converted into some other product and it is given to the kidney. Kidneys excrete it. Here in this condition, you don't have a protein or an enzyme called which is missing, which results in accumulation of this oxalate. This basically forms stones which are shown in the left-hand side of the PowerPoint slide, and it also accumulates in heart, skeletal bones, and eyes and kidneys. This results in kidney failure. So when he came, what were the options? Shall we do a kidney transplant because his liver was more or less okay? So yes, we can, but the defect is in the liver. Unless we correct the liver, the kidney stones would come back again. So next, do only liver transplant, but kidneys remain diseased if you do only liver transplant. So the best option was combined liver kidney transplant for this child. So, but what are the challenges? Very rare. We don't have any experience to tell parents that, we have done so many children with same condition, and, across the globe there are only 2 successful cases. Another complicating thing is he was a child, small child. So we discussed with the family. I would like to highlight this. Any successful transplant depends on patient having complete faith in us. Varun's family came all the way from Bangalore. There was no second thought when we said we have to do transplant, and they were ready to donate. Initially they thought one donor is enough. When we saw no, we can't harvest both liver and kidney from single donor, aunt came forward. I really appreciate Varun's aunt and his family. So, and they were ready to take the risk. Of course, it's not with the risk. They were ready to accept the risk. They had full faith. And of course, second comes expertise. We have a team of doctors. We met a couple of times. We decided, we charted out a plan for them. And of course, hospital management, infrastructure, supportiveness from the marketing team is very, very important. This is not only for Varun, for all the transplants. So we looked at the donors carefully. We made sure that the donors, whoever gave liver or kidney, didn't have any disease, because it is a genetic condition which can run in the families. After making sure that donors are healthy, patient was admitted and monitored in PICU. His dialysis dose was adjusted so that his oxalate level comes down quickly in the blood. So Well, whilst we were doing that, the important thing is we kept on meeting each other. Team nephrology, team urology, kidney transplant surgeons, liver transplant surgeons, then we charted out a plan. So just to highlight, this is the number of teams of doctors which were involved in this transplant. I mean, each team would have at least 3 to 4 doctors, or even some teams would have 10 doctors. So all this was possible because we had an excellent team in the Clinicals Global Health City. Everyone is in-house. Of course, we should thank our nurses and other support staff and the infrastructure. So transplant surgery, I won't take much time in this. It was smooth, uneventful. He had dialysis 3 days after the surgery also to reduce whatever residual oxalate level in the blood. He recovered and he discharged after 16th day of surgery. That's quite a remarkable recovery for a combined liver kidney transplant to get discharged by 2 weeks. So this is how on the left side he was looking when he came to us without dialysis. Once we dialyzed, he looked very thin. This is how he looks now. Looks healthy. So we are not the heroes. The real heroes are the family of the patient. We should congratulate them. We should appreciate their belief in us. Thank you.
Doctors in Bangalore were able to do a genetic analysis and diagnosis, because most of these children, what happens is they are treated as kidney failure. A lot of them have just a kidney transplant alone, and within a couple of years the kidneys fail, and they go back on dialysis, and it's been reported so many times in literature. And in fact, the 2 cases that we've actually talked about doing a kidney and liver transplant were both cases in which they did a kidney transplant initially, thinking it's just a standard kidney failure, and then the kidneys failed. Then they had to do a genetic analysis, and then they diagnosed the cause, and then they did kidney liver. So, fortunately for us, we knew the diagnosis beforehand. We had genetic analysis report beforehand, so we could actually identify what is the exact genetic defect in this child for which the child needs to be treated. I think medical aspects aside, first of all, dialysis itself is a very difficult situation for the patient and for the family. Especially if the child, it's heartbreaking simply because the child completely gets out of school. Every alternate day child needs to go to the hospital, has to stay attached to a dialysis machine for 4 hours, 5 hours a day. And it's a big effort for the family, for the extended family. And I was not surprised that they were all so keen that they have a permanent cure for this rather than continuing on dialysis for ages. And you can see the difference. I mean, the pictures that Dr. Somashekar showed is actually absolutely stunning. The difference just a couple of months of good liver and kidney function can make to a child's health, appearance, and activity levels. I mean, the child is so active now; he's running all over the place. The parents suddenly realize that it's not easy to handle him as he was before the operation. And that just shows that the impact the need for dialysis can make on a child's life, on a child's education, and the child's growth. I think in terms of surgery, obviously any surgery in a child is complex. Doing a transplant in a child is complex simply because we are taking organs from an adult and then trying to put them into a child. So there's a space issue. I think you need excellent technical teams. I mean, I really like to thank Dr. Rajnikant, Dr. Muruganathan, my colleagues in kidney and liver transplant, and Dr. Selva and his team, our anesthesia team, who looked after this child throughout the long surgery. And it's not something that we do every day. They need to be carefully planned so that the child's liver transplant is done first. At the same time, the kidney donor operation is started. The kidney donor team needs to be in sync with the child, with the liver transplant team, so that the kidney is taken out at the right moment, so that it can immediately be transplanted into the child. So there's a lot of synergy that needs to happen. Like I was saying, it's like a classical symphony or a musical orchestra performance where 10 to 15, even 20 professionals need to be involved in it and do their bit at the right time for a successful outcome. And that's what has happened, and this child has done remarkably well. I'm very pleased for the child and for the family, and I hope the child does very well, gets back to school, grows up and has a good education, and really puts the the organs that have been donated by his mother and by his aunt to good use. Thank you.
And I think the case you have gone through that, well, I like to tell only three things. Only the technical aspect, most importantly the non-technical aspect. The technical aspect, doing a kidney transplant in a child, it's very rare. And the adult size kidney has to get accommodated into the child. That too, it's not inside the abdominal cavity. The space has to be created, and there will be a mismatch between the vascular blood vessels of the adult size kidney and the recipient, who is very small. This is the technical challenge. You have to be really good. Number two, actually the kidney donor was his mother, and as a child when he is recovering, he might have needed the mother's emotional support when she is there. Unfortunately, we could offer her the minimally invasive approach, the keyhole. It's a scarless surgery, and she recovered within 2 days. In fact, she was able to go to the ward where the child is there and give him the emotional support, which in fact it's not studied but important factor for the recovery of the child. So, the doing a transplant in a child and offering the minimally invasive approach to a donor who is altruistic, and also she has to take care. How many other people are there, and mother is the best one to be with that. That we are very proud of that. Number three is I would like to tell everyone is that the hardware component anyone can make. You can have a building, you can hire consultants, you can make the machines, but the software component, what Dr. Srinivas Reddy is rightly pointed out, it's not easy to create that culture. The synergy between the consultants and the matrix part and the seamless communication is very important. So I think that does not come in few cases. We have done quite a few cases. This case is unique because of indications. And as a consultants, we are all very proud to be working with such a fantastic team around. The physician, anesthesia, or liver surgeons, pediatric intensivists, as he is told, the blood bank, and everything is, the only one goal is that the child has to come out well, and we have to have so many things which has to be coordinated. So that one thing, actually I am also learning how to work as a team. So this software component, it's not possible in all the institutes. We are proud that we are able to create this culture. This is one example of multiple consultants coming together for a single goal. So that I think we should take it to the community so that more people will get benefited by such fantastic team. I thank all of you. I wish Varun Sandesh a very good and normal life along with his family. We are happy to treat him. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks one and all. Okay.
The ICU staffs who have come, please can you come on stage and join us? May I invite the other doctors from the liver team to join us, please? Please come on stage.
குழந்தைகளுக்கு வந்து அது பிறக்கிறப்பயே ஜெனட்டிக் ப்ராப்ளத்தினால கிட்னியில் 2 கிட்னிலையுமே வந்து ஸ்டோன் அந்த ஸ்டோன் வந்து ஃபுல்லாக ஃபார்ம் ஆகி அது கிட்னியுடைய ஃபங்க்ஷனை இருக்கிறதுனால சின்ன வயசுலேயே அந்த குழந்தைகளுக்கு வந்து டயாலிசிஸ் ரெகுலராக வீக்லி த்ரைஸ் வீக்லி ட்வைஸ் அந்த மாதிரி குழந்தைகளுக்கே டயாலிசிஸ் அவங்களுக்கு தெரியும் எவ்வளோ கஷ்டம் டயாலிசிஸ் போகிறதுன்னு குழந்தைய அந்த பிறவியிலேயே ஏற்பட்ட அந்த ஜெனட்டிக் ப்ராப்ளத்தினால டயாலிசிஸ்லேயே இருப்பாங்க. இந்த இதுக்கு காரணம் என்னன்னு பார்த்தா இந்த ஸ்டோன் கிட்னியில் ஃபார்ம் ஆகிறதுக்கு மெயின் ரீசன் வந்து லிவர் கல்லீரலில் அதில் உள்ள அந்த என்சைம்ஸ் சொல்லுவோம் சில என்சைம்ஸ் அதனுடைய உற்பத்தி குறைவாக இருக்கிறதுனால இப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு வந்து அந்த கிட்னி கம்ப்ளீட்டாக ஃபெயிலியர் ஆகி டயாலிசிஸ் இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு கிட்னியை மாத்திரம் மாற்றி வச்சாலும் லிவரில் அந்த ஜெனட்டிக் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கிறதுனால புதுசாக வச்ச கிட்னிலையும் அந்த ஸ்டோன் ஃபார்ம் ஆகும். அந்த குழந்தைக்கு திருப்பியும் கிட்னி டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட். இப்படி தான் இந்த வியாதியை பற்றி அந்த அளவுக்கு நாலேஜ் இல்லாத சமயத்தில் கிட்னி டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் மட்டும் பண்ணால் போதும் அப்படின்னு வேர்ல்டில் நினச்சிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் இப்போ ஓவர் த பீரியட் ஆஃப் பல வருஷத்துக்கு அப்புறம் ரிசர்ச் மூலமாக கிட்னி மாத்திரம் மாற்றி வச்சாலும் ப்ராப்ளம் லிவரில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த ஜீனுடைய டிஃபெக்ட்னால திருப்பி வச்ச புது கிட்னியில் ஸ்ட்ரோக் ஃபார்ம் ஆகுறதுனால லிவரையும் சேர்த்து பண்ணணுன்றது தான் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட், கரெக்டான ட்ரீட்மெண்ட். ஸோ இப்போ இந்த குழந்தைக்கு இந்த வியாதியில் வந்து சில டைப்ஸ், அதுலேயே டைப்ஸ் இருக்குது. இந்த மாதிரி பிரைமரி ஹைப்பர் ஆக்சிடென்ட் டைப் 1ன்னு சொல்லுவோம், டைப் 2. இந்த குழந்தைக்கு இருக்கிற வியாதி வந்து டைப் 2. இது வந்து உலகத்திலேயே 2 தான் இந்த மாதிரி டைப் 2 இந்த ப்ராப்ளம் உள்ள குழந்தைக்கு வந்து ஒரே சர்ஜரியில் லிவரும் கிட்னியும் சேர்த்து வச்சது. இப்போ இங்கே பார்க்குறப்ப ஏஷியாலேயே இதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் இங்கே இந்த குழந்தைக்கு அவங்களுடைய ஆண்ட் வந்து லிவரில் ஒரு பகுதி லிவர், இந்த குழந்தைக்கு கம்ப்ளீட் லிவர் எடுத்துருவோம். அவங்க ஆண்ட் தர்ற ஒரு பகுதி லிவரை தான் வைப்போம். அந்த லிவர் வந்து 1 மந்த்தில் கம்ப்ளீட்டாக ரீஜெனரேட் ஆகிடும். அது வந்து ரெஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த லைஃப் அது கொண்டு ஆண்ட்டுக்கு கொடுக்குறதுக்கு அவங்க ஆன்ட்டியோ யாரோ கொடுக்குறாங்க, ஃபேமிலி டோனர் கொடுக்குற முன்னாடி இந்த ஜெனட்டிக் ப்ராப்ளம் யாரும் இல்லாதவங்க தான் நம்ம சூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். அதே மாதிரி கிட்னி வந்து இந்த குழந்தைக்கு அவங்களுடைய அம்மா மதர் கொடுத்தாங்க. இந்த 2 சர்ஜரியும் லிவர் டீம், கிட்னி டீம், இது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு சிம்பிளாக நம்ம நினைக்கிற மாதிரி சர்ஜரி கிடையாது, ஒரே ஆப்ரேஷன். அந்த சமயத்தில் லிவர் சைடில் சர்ஜன்ஸு, அனஸ்தீசியா, ஐசியூ டாக்டர், கிட்னி சைடில் அதுக்கு சர்ஜன்ஸு, கிட்னி டாக்டர், நெஃப்ராலஜிஸ்ட், இப்படி ஒரு பெரிய டீமே சேர்ந்து சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லாக பண்ணது ஏஷியாவிலே இந்த முதல்.
ஓகே சார்.
இந்த இது ஜெனட்டிக் ப்ராப்ளம் வந்தது அந்த பிறந்ததுலே இருக்கிற அந்த லிவர்னால. இப்போ அந்த லிவர் அந்த குழந்தைனுடைய லிவர் இல்லை, இப்போ அவங்க ஆன்டினுடைய லிவர்னால அந்த ஜெனட்டிக் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லாதனால இந்த குழந்தை வாழ்நாள் ஃபுல்லாக நார்மலாக லைஃப் லீட் பண்ணும். மற்ற குழந்தை மாதிரி டயாலிசிஸ்
சார் இப்போ கிட்னி மாற்று அறுவை சிகிச்சை என்னும் போது ஸோ ஃபாரின் ஆர்கன் வந்து அவ்வளோ சீக்கிரம் உடம்பு அக்செப்ட் பண்ணுறது லேட் ஆகும். இப்போ 2 பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, இப்போ குழந்தை எப்படி இருக்கும்?
நல்ல கேள்வி. அதாவது எந்த ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் ஒருத்தவங்கிட்ட இருந்து அடுத்தவங்க விருப்பம் வாங்கினாலும் அதை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக இன்னும் சப்ரஸன் ட்ரக் அப்படின்னு சில ட்ரக்ஸை வந்து நம்ம கொடுக்க வேண்டியிருக்கும். அது கிட்னி டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட்னாலும் சரி, லிவர்னாலும் சரி, இப்போ இந்த குழந்தைக்கு பண்ணியிருக்கிற கம்பைன்டு லிவர் கிட்னி. ஆனால் இதில் என்ன ஒரு பியூட்டினா, 2 ஆர்கன் வச்சனால அதிகமாக கொடுக்கணும், அந்த டோஸ் கொடுக்கணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. அது நார்மலாக ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் சமயத்தில் எவ்வளோ கொடுப்போமோ அது மாத்திரம் கொடுத்தா போதும். இதில் ஒரு பியூட்டி என்னென்னா, பல வருஷம் ஆக ஆக அந்த ட்ரக்குனுடைய டோஸ் அளவை நம்ம படிப்படியாக குறைச்சி ரொம்ப மினிமலாக தான் அந்த குழந்தைக்கு இருக்கும்.
உங்கள் நேம் சொல்லுங்கள் சார்.
என்னுடைய பேர் டாக்டர் ஜாய் வர்கீஸ். நான் வந்து ஹெப்படாலஜிஸ்ட் அண்ட் டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் ஹெப்படாலஜிஸ்ட். என் கூட இருக்கிறது டாக்டர் சோமசேகர். இவர் வந்து குழந்தைகளுக்குரிய அந்த ஹெப்படாலஜி கோர்ஸ் யூகேல முடிச்சுட்டு இங்கே ஜாயின் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. டாக்டர் முருகானந்தம், இவர் வந்து ஹெட் ஆஃப் தி கிட்னி டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் சர்ஜரியினுடைய ஹெட். அப்புறம் டாக்டர் மெட்டு ஸ்ரீனிவாச ரெட்டி, அவர் வந்து இங்கே லிவர் டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் லிவர் சர்ஜரியுடைய டைரக்டர். டாக்டர் ரஜினிகாந்த் பாஷா, ஸோ இவர் வந்து கிளினிக்கல் லீடுன்னு சொல்லுவோம். எங்களுடைய லிவர் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் 1வது சீஃப் லிவர் டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் சர்ஜன் இது. அப்புறம் டாக்டர் முத்துக்குமார், அவர் வந்து சிறுநீரகத்தினுடைய ஹெட்டு, அது சிறப்பு சிகிச்சையினுடைய ஹெட்டாக இருக்கார்.
தேங்க்யூ சார். தேங்க்யூ.
இது இல்லாமல் செல்வகுமார் மற்ற இது நிறைய பேர் இருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ டாக்டர் கர்ணன், அவர் குழந்தைகளுடைய ஐசியூனுடைய ஹெட்டு, இன்சார்ஜ் இன்டென்சிவ் கேர் யூனிட்டுடைய சீஃப் அவர். ஸோ இது கீழே ஆக்சுவலி மோஸ்ட்லி 70 to 90 ஸ்டாஃப்ஸ் எல்லாருமே ஒர்க். ஸோ இது வந்து இப்படி ஒரு அதான் நம்ம சொன்ன மாதிரி ரேர் டிசீஸை முதல்ல கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். அந்த கண்டுபிடிச்ச அந்த ரேர் டிசீஸை எப்படி சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லாக கரெக்ட் பண்ணணும்னு தெரியும். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வே இந்த மீடியாக்காக நாங்கள் எல்லாத்தையும்
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
தேங்க்யூ.